What's up, everybody? This is your boy Roman, Gamer 343, back at it once again, and it's time for yet another open chat session. So hold on, I'll bring in my first guest.
Hey,
Yep.
hey everyone.
Hey, well, we're the first two here, so basically, to
Let's
open
start
chat.
with what you want to talk about because there's something I wanted to talk about, but let's start with you first.
Yeah, so not much for me. I mean, basically, I just wanted you guys to actually, kind of get something off your chest. So if there's anything you want to get off your chest,
Well, it's not
um,
really get off my chest, but something I've always wanted to talk about: retro first-person shooters, or boomer shooters, as I like to call it.
oh yeah, like Doom and stuff like that. Oh yeah.
Doom, Duke Nukem, Quake.
Oh yeah, those are freaking awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and also Shadow Warrior. That game was great too. And Blood.
oh yes, dude.
Cockatoon Pussy. Today's a video
Cockadoodle
game.
pussy! I love saying vulgar things in the morning and any other time of the day because guess why? That's my kind of funk!
Yep.
Now, what's today's subject?
Open chat.
It's open legs. Good. My
Yay!
favorite. Also, sadly, Dee Dee is busy. She's prepping stuff, so she will be missing the stream perhaps. But we should all, in her honor, say suck a clit.
Yeah, exactly. To all the freaking Wokies out there.
Exactamundo. Now then, with that being said, since this is an open leg chat, well, let's start off by saying happy late 4th of July. Again, rock on America, fuck the Wokies, and what, basically read some Dojin manga with big titty American girls in it. Like
Oh,
there's this one Dojin that I seen many months ago. It was like a transfer student from America. She had the American flag bra and panties on. And she had massive tits. It's a fantastic Dojin. But anyway, with that all being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, I will present to you the Lollipop Chainsaw is apparently getting a remastered, and I am kinda nervous because, well, here we are in current year, right?
yeah, exactly. And basically, I do actually have my freaking personal fears about something being
I
remastered.
I still
Only to
want my
actually have.
copy of Lollipop. Wait. Oh no, wait. Uh, thought you were talking about something else.
Okay. Well, anywho, so when it comes to Lollipop Chainsaw, first and foremost, I still, as an MLP fan, find it hilarious that Twilight Sparkle's voice is the same voice as Juliet from, well, Lollipop Chainsaw. But
Yeah, and also let's not forget Harley Quinn.
oh, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm saying it's like Tara Strong voices all three of them, yes, but her voice for Juliet is the same as Twilight. It like Harley Quinn, it's Tara Strong doing a Harley Quinn voice, just like she has her voice for Raven and any other character. Like it's the voice of Timmy. She only uses one voice for Raven, one voice for Harley Quinn. Meanwhile, both Twilight and Juliet share the same style voice, I guess you could say.
Yeah, basically, I kind of actually have my own personal per se thoughts about it as well. Like, I just hope that they don't actually change it too much, and
And see, that's the issue. Like, I used to remember back in the day, right? In the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, whenever you would hear there would be a new game coming up, you would be hyped, you would be excited, and, it was fun. But nowadays, because of the Wokies and the censorship, we're kind of concerned because it's like, are you going to change this because a morbidly obese land whale with pink hair and piercings in her face that looked like she went into a damn fishing hook accident had an issue with it?
Yeah, in fact, if you want to talk about Americans, why not talk about Revy from Black Lagoon, baby? She's actually
Yeah.
Chinese American, so
And I mean, also something right there too is what's hilarious is there's always been diversity in manga and anime, right? There's always been diversity. You got like her being Chinese American, a mixed child, and every other type of LGBT representation. Japan does it good. Japan knows what they're doing. Meanwhile, here in the West, because of stupid people, aka the Wokies, a character's main goal is to be as gay as possible, and it's like their whole entire personality revolves around their sexuality, and they have to let you know they are like super duper gay, and they do absolutely nothing else.
this is why I fucking hate, freaking current year. In
I
fact,
mean, mind
those people need to get fucking fired for all I care.
And mind you, by the way, let's you know what? Since we're talking about the LGBT thing, like we've already talked about how good the Owl House does it, where you have to actually pay attention to what Lou says and does to really get an understanding of, oh, she's bisexual. And with Amphibia, like, yay, Sasha's on Team Bi, that's great and all, but at the same time, it feels like your standard last minute decision because, you didn't want to get your show canned because Disney doesn't give two shits about us. But it did feel kinda out of nowhere. However, it was still a decent representation because Sasha was more than just her sexuality, just like the other characters were. And you jump on over here to the Lightyear movie, the Buzz Lightyear movie, which, mind you, only got heat because Tim Allen didn't come in to voice Buzz. Now, sure, you can sit here and say, well, in technicality, this would be the show or whatever that Andy would watch, and Buzz is just the toy, so the voices will be different, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool beans, and that is understandable. But at the same time, the movie itself was dull. Now, is it okay if I spoil anything? Because I guarantee you're not going to give two shits.
No, not
Nope.
really.
Mr. A?
Not gonna watch it anyway, so
Okay, so guys.
I stopped
okay,
watching Toy Story after Toy Story 3.
Okay, so you see, Buzz gets trapped on this planet because, he has to get a crystal that is used for fuel, and he meets Zurg, the main antagonist. And guys, do you know who Zurg is?
Darth Vader.
No. Buzz. I am you from the future. Yeah, it's
Excuse me.
bad.
What?
Yeah, it's bad guy Buzz because apparently something happened, so Buzz kind of became not a good guy, and so now he's gone to the past to stop good Buzz. It's absolutely WTF. I guarantee you they were trying to make it an epic thing. It was like, oh my gosh, what a twist! That was an epic twist. Like, no. But the other issue is the fact that they've tried to promote this movie because the lesbians, guys. There's lesbians in it.
Okay.
Yeah, those probably-
Zurg. Can I just say this? Zurg being Buzz from the future feels so out of left field.
That's what every single fan has said. Because no, I mean, I didn't really watch the cartoon series, but I know Zurg is the antagonist, And in my opinion, I mean, Zerg is supposed to just be, the bad guy who wants to do bad guy things. So there's never supposed to be I am your X, X being father or you from the future.
Theo phrasing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They'll probably freaking cut that out for freaking Daddy China, of course, but China.
Oh yeah, they of course will. Oh, pardon. But the thing is it's that they are going to sit there and try to say it's not it's all the haters' fault because the haters want to uh crap on it for having a lesbian scene. And it's like what me, Dee Dee, and every other LGBT person who's not batshit insane has said. We don't give two shits about these characters, and it has nothing to do with it. The fact is, you're trying to promote it. You're trying to promote it only for the representation, when yet you could promote it by like, hey, this is Buzz Lightyear. But we're going to get Tim Allen to voice the character, or maybe, hey, Zerg is going to be in it, and it's going to be all cool and awesome. Or hell, would have really sold it as if you had kept it with the original TV series, animated TV show, because that's going to bring in a lot of fans. That nostalgia. It's like, hey, you got Buzz, who he doesn't believe he needs a team. He doesn't need anybody, but the team comes in and shows him, yeah, you do need a team. You need teamwork and that kind of thing. I guarantee you, if they would have done it like that, if they would have brought in the original, characters from the animated series, it would have done much, much better. But no, instead they decided to throw that out and give in your token black girl who's a lesbian, who the girl here in the trailer is the daughter of the lesbian, because they get killed, centuries ago, and now Buzz is in the. It's absolutely convoluted and stupid. But you still got the whole every character in Buzz Lightyear is a human.
Mm.
What makes a good sci-fi movie like Star Trek or Star Wars, stuff like that, is having a character surrounded by aliens, right? Like you look at Farscape, you look at Star Trek, you look at Star Wars. You got these alien sidekicks with the human MC. But no. It's simply it's just everyone's human at Star Command.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People just don't understand that, and they just actually want the representations, guys.
Oh, what's funny is the Obi-Wan TV series, that horrible abomination. There are no aliens. Like you look at the movies, and when you go into the bar, and you got all those aliens from different races hanging out. Well, there's none in this. There's just mostly humans. And so
Okay,
it's
I
like,
got that's kind of fucking stupid.
yeah, because
I
like
mean,
Star Wars is known for having a plethora of different species. Like if anything, humans are the minority basically, or any human-looking character.
oh, I like this one. Disney's Captain America. Hail Hollywood Hydra.
Hmm. But no, at the same time though, these Wookiees, they don't know what they're doing. The Buzz Lightyear flopped, and yet Minions: The Rise of Gru is doing well. So you really can't blame the gas prices, going up and stuff, because here's the Minions movie beating the Lightyear movie.
I say it
And
deserves it because at least freaking Illumination and the minions are actually so freaking adorable, and you gotta say, freaking just watching the minions is actually much more appealing than freaking watching something made by freaking woke Disney.
Yeah, because one of the assholes sat there and said, "Oh, well, they're just dinosaurs. They're idiots. They're gonna die out." No, Wokies are going to die out because people don't want this shit fest. The people, the fans, the normal human beings who don't have mental disorders, I mean pronouns, are getting sick and tired of this woke trash. We see it every time when Godzilla shows up. People see it, people talk about it, people praise it. When Fast and the Furious 9 showed up, people praised it, people loved it. But whenever a woke film stands up, the people are like, oh, sweet mother of God, what is this abomination? Um, to warn you now, there's a movie called Men. 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 Don't watch it. It's some women horror movie that involves evil man being evil.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, and they tried to actually get in the freaking terminal list. Actually, the newest Chris Pratt series canceled, but they can't do it because freaking it's so freaking popular on Amazon right now.
And that's good. Massive props to Pratt.
Chris
And
Pratt is invincible.
And that right there shows you what the people want. Just like a while back, the Superman and Lois Lane TV series. It was doing great. People loved it. Millions of individuals watched it. But whenever they swapped it out with Batwoman or whatever, no one tuned in. It still stayed at a 4,000 viewer rating. It didn't move. And it's because the people don't care about politics. And I'm going to bring up something that Micah Curtis said in one of his videos. If people want religion or politics, they would go to it. They would go to the church or they would go to a congressman or whatever and talk. Or if they got to do it on YouTube, they will go to a Christian YouTuber who talks about God, or they would go to a political YouTuber who talks about politics. They would go to these individuals who they trust. They don't want to go to a YouTuber who's well known for playing games or comic reviews or whatever to get religion or politics. Like, let's take Markiplier for instance. Markiplier is known for one thing. Well, besides being a wholesome human being, he's known for playing all sorts of games. Horror games, weird games, what have you. And his,
And he's also been known for actually, freaking out most of the time and actually having those freaking weird noises going.
yeah. But that's what he's known for. The fans go to Markiplier for entertainment, for the noise, also the radio voice that he has, like, hello, I am Markiplier. Like, he has that nice voice that sounds like he should be on radio, but they go to him. If Markiplier today or tomorrow was to decide to switch over to, okay, everybody, today I'm switching my content from video games to talking about the Holy Bible, everything would drop. Everything would drop. His fans would stop coming, not because they're atheist or whatever, but because they came for the games. They didn't come for the religious person. You jump on over to Jim Sterling's stupid ass, where Jim Sterling states that the reason why she or he, I don't know what the fuck the gender is because they got the name Jim Sterling and everything, but whatever. Jim Sterling is a trans person, alright? And they claim that the reason why they lost views is because of transphobes not wanting the content. But the reality is, Jim Sterling changed his.
Actually, I stopped watching Jim Sterling like years before that happened. So that has nothing to do with why he lost viewers. It's because of his I think what really what got me to stop supporting him was when he attacked, or when she when she attacked the Dead or Alive franchise back in the day, when she basically supported this whole feminist or Sarkeesianite movement towards
Yeah,
ugly women,
and
and
see
stuff like that.
that's why people stopped. Like, so no, I'm not really at my PC. I'm sitting in my kitchen because, well, I got the house to myself and I just want to do it. So I don't know when you came in, but did you at least come in when I was talking about how when someone wants to find a religious person or
Exactly. That's exactly it.
okay, so you were here with the whole Markiplier example thing.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, like people will go to the Christian or they will go to the politician. But when you are a YouTuber or anyone that's talking about a certain thing, again, Jim Sterling, you were talking about games, but once you changed it to being political, that's when you lost viewership. But yet you, just like a disgusting cretin that you are, decide to weaponize your sexuality like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's why I, as well as several other LGBT members, separate myself from that community because it's like, no, I'm not going to.
I mean, I liked it better when she was talking about Bobby Kotick and microtransactions, stuff like that. That's the stuff that me and her agree so much on, is the microtransactions, the greediness, the DLC and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like
That, but that's the problem is that now she's attacking the stuff that we like.
yeah, and also, you probably did see her video of. I think Elden Ring needs an easy mode. It just
No,
exists.
see, that's exactly the problem.
And it's like, no, first of all, it's a niche game. It has its audience. It has people who love it, who praise it, and it did absolutely magnificent. It got like over 1 million copies worldwide. Major
Okay.
props. That right there shows you that there is that there's a group that enjoys this. Just because you suck at a game doesn't mean you get to dictate. I guarantee you, Jim Sterling's stupid ass will probably play Mario Bros. For the NES. Like, why is this game not easy? Where are the tutorials? I died 5 times at the first Goomba. Come on, Nintendo. This is problematic.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I gotta get back into playing Elden Ring again. Because, I haven't actually played that game in a while. I mean, I've been playing my Switch as of late, and, I haven't really been playing games this with much because, I've been dealing with work and stuff like that.
Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I'm glad that we brought up the whole sexism stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because that's the only two fucking genders, may I present to you, I get my whole Ace Attorney thing. So you got Anita Sarkeesian saying, this causes sexism. Objection, bitch! This article right here states that there is no proof whatsoever that there is sexism, there's a correlation between sexism and video games. But yet,
it's kind of funny is that like years back there was actually another study that came out that proved the same thing about violence. It's like,
but guess what? These people ignore it. These people, well, what's this?
I think that those two studies alone should disprove all these people trying to cite psychology for anime and being anime causing pedophilia. It's like, seriously, it's the same damn argument you've used back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, and back in these are, it's like the left and the right use the exact same fucking arguments.
Exactly. But as you know, though,
It's enough. It's enough. Fiction does not cause people to become crazy. They were crazy to begin with.
Exactly.
But
And
here's the thing.
granted,
I'm gonna
granted.
add on. Whoa, Dio. I'll let you
Alright.
finish as I say this because basically I want to add on to Cerno's point because basically the right is always it goes against God and the left is it goes against my feelings. Basically, it's either between freaking a Christian belief or someone feelings getting freaking hurt.
They're the two sides of the same coin. But one thing I want to throw out there, though, is
If the Republicans did not have the evangelical wing, they're the ones that want to censor video games.
But one thing I would want to point out there, though, is okay. We've all seen gamer ranks, right? Falcon.
No.
Falcon.
God damn it. Okay, so there's a YouTuber by the name of Gamer Ranks. His OC is a Falcon, and he talks about, well, video games. And usually, I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know if he still does this, but he does this video game news in the month, meaning whatever happened in March, he will address everything that has happened in video games, like
Yeah.
someone won a competition or whatever. Well, anywho, there were a couple of stories that, of course, as much as you idiots would use, but there's a couple of stories where someone was playing Grand Theft Auto online and they killed someone on the game, mind you, which you can respawn. And so this person went over to kill them in real life because of the game. Now,
They were crazy to begin with.
yeah, there you go. Because guess what? They could have been at a grocery store and someone would have accidentally bumped into them and they'd be like, you know what? I'm going to kill you now. It has nothing to do with the game. And it has to do with the person's mindset, they were already insane to begin with. So they were going to do it one way or another. They could not have a game console, and again, they could have been shopping at Walmart, and someone bumped into them, and they would have done something. Are we going to blame Walmart? Are we going to say buying food causes murder? No.
That's basically it. The problem is that these people are nuts to begin with, but they kind of fly under the radar sometimes.
Exactly. And
that's why we have a criminal justice system.
And the idiots will always look at that and say, well, I have proof right here that video games causes violence. It's like, no, again, like what Cerno has said, they were batshit insane to begin with. And like I said, they could have been at Walmart and someone would have bumped into them and they would have killed them right on the spot. It wasn't the game. It was the moment. It was when they decide to say, you know what would be a great idea? To do a thing like this.
Yeah, it's like, it's just like, the freaking guns actually kill people argument. Guns are just inanimate objects. They don't actually go around killing people. It's the person holding the gun that kills another person.
And
you know what's funny about that is whenever someone gets in a vehicle accident, it's always the driver's fault. It's the drunk driver's fault, or it's the cell phone fault. But yet, no one blames the car. But yet, when someone does a thing with a gun, oh my God, the gun killed people. No, it's the idiot behind the gun. Just like it's the idiot behind the steering wheel who killed or
assuming the gun itself is loaded.
Okay, VC, aka the new Dark Shadow, says these Anita Sarkadians, the Jim Sterlings, the Zeri Quinns, the Brianna Woos, the Jack Thompsons, the Marcus C. Evans Jr.'s, and the Neil Druckmanns need to be called out and get what's coming to them.
Yeah,
they need to lose their jobs.
Yeah, and guess what? Guys, we need to support the indie projects. Any indie games on Steam, we need to support and show people that this is what we want.
Here's the problem with that, is Steam is starting to, they're starting to basically bow to the pressure from the NCOSE and starting to ban certain games, especially from Japanese developers, like indie developers. It's kind of funny because it's fine when a big corporation like Marvelous does it. Senran Kagura is still up on the store, but
one
I'm
question
glad
though.
that certain Kagura is still on the store, by the way. I need to get. One thing I'm doing is getting it for summer, the Peach Beach splash to, play on Spicy Sunday or something.
Yeah.
One question
Oh God.
though,
Oh God. You
about
just
them
had to go there, didn't you,
censoring
Dio?
games. Can't they just
Oh, wait. Yeah.
What was that? What was that, Bleeding Shadow?
about them censoring games? Can't they just mod it and uncensor it?
They could if they release a patch on their own website. They can't link to it in the Steam thing, but they could probably do it on their official website.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to throw out there too, by the way, before I forget this. So this morning I saw a tweet. You can, if you post or not post, but if you search up Lolicon on Facebook, it will say this is child abuse. Give you a warning. But yet, when the person typed in Shoda or Shoda nothing showed up, and it showed them, well, Shoda stuff. So it's like, wait a minute, Facebook, what are you doing? Like, it
The
feels
current,
like,
the current push against and the moral the whole moral panic about anime is pushed by the feminists because they know they can't, because they don't have enough they haven't really been able to sink their teeth as much into Japan as they would like. So in order to control anime, they either, if they can't control anime, they will try to criminalize and make it a legal minefield with the whole pedophilia moral panic. They dusted this. What's funny is that before anime became mainstream, like before around 2018 when anime really became mainstream, before that, there was articles from like left-wing rags like Salon, and a whole bunch of others that were trying to defend pedophilia. But all of a sudden, when anime comes to their attention, all of a sudden they would do a 180. So them being supposedly being anti-pedo, they created this moral panic, not to protect kids, because they weren't trying to do that before 2018, but rather they're doing it because they want to attack anime. So they had to do a 180 in order to attack anime. And once if they're able to criminalize anime, they're just going to do another 180 and be pro pedo again. As soon as they get what they want with censoring anime.
Exactly, and that's why Japan and we, the fans, need to keep fighting back. We need to show Japan, hey, we exist. Now, one thing I want to throw out there right here and right now, and I brought this up yesterday, there is that one article that came out yesterday about how there's going to be less itchy in Shonen Jump. Mind you, this is not a moment to panic because Colonel, Gatekeeper, or yeah, who knows Japan and reads the articles and stuff like that. Without the context, yeah, this sounds like it is a danger. Like, oh no, is this going to be the end? No. All the itchy stuff will be put over to Shonen Jump's sister site. But the thing is, because of Shonen Jump not getting all that many views, or like one of the manga sales aren't getting that many views, is over 10 years, and they're thinking like, hey, maybe it's because we have a little bit too much risque things in it. So why don't we see if this will work here? Because right now, Chainsaw Man and Spy X Family is doing real well, and both show. Well, I only know Spy X Family doesn't have any fan service or spicy scenes. I can't say anything about Chainsaw Man, but if it doesn't, then well, there you go. But though this isn't a bad thing because itchy is still going to be allowed. It's still not just that, but you also got to remember Japanese women, the younger women, are fighting against and don't like this feminism because they like cute girls. I like cosplaying as Nami from One Piece and other characters. So it does seem like we don't have to worry. And even there's that one minister or whoever it was who was like, "Hey, I'm going to make sure that censorship doesn't happen."
Yeah, the problem is the problem with Katakawa in particular. Again, because they're starting to bow to the diversity inclusion, and the problem isn't really the censorship from the government over in Japan. I think it's going to be just like the U.S. in a way, where the censorship comes from the corporate class rather than the government.
Yeah, and I mean, if that does happen,
Though the problem is gatekeepers like payment processors, like in the U.S. Again, as I've always iterated, in the U.S. the reason why independent artists can't get their stuff out, if it's risque or something like that, like you'd normally like the type of stuff you see in Japan, it's because of the payment processors like Patreon in particular.
well, what's going to happen though is if they do this forced diversity and if there's any wokeness in it, I guarantee you, Japanese fans are gonna be like, "Ew, no, I don't want this. This is disgusting." Because one thing you have to know, Japanese people, the fans, they don't give two fucks about this woke shit. Like every time a wokey says something, a Japanese person will tell them to shut up and don't ever speak, please.
And the problem again, like the thing is that because basically in the U.S. you have this network effect with Twitter, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, Japan has their own Japan-specific websites and stuff where they can still communicate with each other. The U.S. doesn't have that because the U.S. only has a Silicon Valley runs websites, unless you go into the deep web, which is basically where the Fediverse and stuff resides. The thing is that there's no real surface, like there's no site that has like that's at the size of Twitter, for example, that actually has people conversing about this unfettered without the social media company coming in and cracking down.
Yeah, not just that,
The
but
conversations are very limited because of Twitter mostly.
exactly, because every time there's a conservative, group or app or
Well,
whatever,
I wouldn't really say conservative. I would just say just plain old, just want to be left alone, just want their content to be left alone. Those are the people who get banned. It's like they find some reason to ban them, and it's like if you only have one side on Twitter, that side's going to get what they want because all the brand accounts are on Twitter. I think the major issue is that we have brand accounts and a filtered echo chamber, which means that the only side that the companies see, like especially with convention accounts, because they only see one side, they only see the left side because the right side's banned.
exactly, and that's why a lot of these companies are bringing the knee and like, oh, it looks like this pink-haired, mentally challenged person with pronouns thinks this is bad, so let's censor this game. That way, they can buy it because you don't want to use the wrong pronoun for the special snowflake. So
Yeah.
they.
Anyway, Rico 4975 says the madness of it all. Feminism claims to be for women, yet they harm women. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. In hell hath no fairy than a woman's wrath.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you say that. I'm okay. So there's this other thing. This is what's a bra site or something like that for women with big tits, right? Mummy milkers. The feminists want it banned because how dare you have big boobs or something? And it's like, wait a minute, what happened to supporting women? What happened to that? But of course, you're jealous that this woman is well endowed. Meanwhile, you have pizza slices for tits, or tater tot tits, or no tits at all, or one tit is bigger than the other, or whatever. You're jealous of beautiful women. That's the main thing of feminism, these third wave feminists. You look at third wave feminists and you see what they're complaining about. They hate sexy, scantily clad fictional characters. Why? Because that's a beautiful woman. That's something that people want to look at. Meanwhile, you look like a goddamn mutated donkey. Or a humpback whale.
Burn. Damn.
I mean, this is a problem I have with And the thing is that and the funny thing is, even though it's for different reasons, the left wingers are basically implementing the censorship that the conservatives back in the 90s could only dream of.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, because they want
They're basically acting like conservatives.
And there you go, because they want women to be covered up. They want women to be flat chested. They want women to look like Abby from fucking Dead or Alive. Mind you, by the way.
No, not Dead or Alive. That was you mean like The Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Dead or Alive is actually much more better than that game because basically we get
Dead or Alive before the whole Evo incident.
Yeah.
And all it took was one guy at Evo, the CEO of Evo, to say something, and basically Koei Tecmo bowed to his pressure, and then come to find out he's a sex pest.
Oh wait, is that the fat
Mr. Wiz?
Is that the fat bastard who, when it was that Twitch stream of the two Japanese girls,
Yes,
that were jiggling their asses? Oh, that fat piece of shit! Yeah, guess what? Hey, fat ass, I know you're not watching this, but we're gonna pretend you are. I guarantee you, if those two little boys flicking a lollipop, your ass would be all over that, wouldn't you, you sick bitch? But since it's two hot women, it's like, this offends my man boobs.
It's the whole core values bullshit. And core values points to one thing: ESG investment. I think BlackRock is behind a lot of it too.
Yeah, also
because the investors choose their CEOs.
Woke feminists look like a girl, and I gotta say that's an insult to the gorillas.
Yeah. I mean, these gorillas, they're majestic. I mean, feminists.
Basically, the thing is we can't have these companies run by Trigglypuff. Basically.
Oh God, Trigglypuff! Like, yeah, it's just like and mind you, by the way, SJWs can never create any damn thing. We see it in comic books where it's, I am a woman, you will respect my vagina. I have one personality, and it's being a woman, a strong woman with no emotions. Basically, she's the toxic masculinity, but with a vagina. And we see that they tried to make anime, massive air quotes there. High Guardian cringe. I mean, High Guardian spice. Sorry, honest mistake. Potato. You know how it is. But High Guardian spice was an absolute shit show. Mind you, there were some good ideas. The whole the decay thing. That was a pretty interesting idea. But we never got an answer for why is new magic better than old magic. We never got any good jokes because the jokes that they tried to throw out there fell flat, and it wasn't
other than the show itself.
Yeah, it wasn't because it was like I didn't understand the joke. No, it was like it was basically on par with a knock joke, and you were supposed to laugh. It was your typical a feminist making a joke kind of comedy. And you got your standard, your typical, elf who shows no emotion, the dwarf who's a blacksmith because that's so creative. And yet my question is, and you have the PNG, lamppost, and what was it, the rose. You had poor actor. I mean, did we forget Slime Boy and how he sounded like that, man? Like he's not what his voice was like the voice actor wasn't even at the mic, dude, get to the mic, speak. And it was one of many things that was an issue. Now, you know how Naruto, each of the ninjas, like Naruto and Rock Lee, have their own ninja way? Like, this is what I believe being a ninja is about. Or in High Guardian Spice, the girls, all the students, were to yell in a wail. And it's this is what
thing. Like, say your own oath and everything. But
yeah. Yeah, it's like it's like this is what I'm my oath for being and the three women, I don't know what the fuck they were, nor do I care, but like, you're all wrong. This is what the oath is. Just like, wait a minute, then why not just tell us that? Why sit there and Like
I agree with 1% agree with you, Donald, because it contradicts everything they just said. Like, hey, say your own oath and here shout into the well. If the writers, which they aren't smart, would have said this was our oath. But our oath changed over the course of our years in school, and if they did that, like, which is why Hard Garden Spices 2 is not going to get a season 2, it should have been like, have your oaths change, speak into the well once again. Like, that would have been smart. That would have been very smart, but they're not smart. It's like, you're all wrong with your oaths. This is how you actually say it. Like, what was the
exactly.
whole
It's
fucking
like
point then? It's an
exactly. It's like
anti-Chekhov's gun.
exactly. It's like what I pointed out with the whole Naruto thing. Each ninja has their own ninja way. Hell, in My Hero Academia, each hero has their own way. What does it mean to be a hero? But yet, High Guardian Cringe is like, no, your oath is what I say it is. It's like, then why give us a will? Why not just sit there and say, okay, everybody, here's the oath, learn it. Okay, there'll be a quiz later.
Yeah. Also, Rico 4975 says, "Yeah, the Yozaki-chan controversy was wild. Top it off. This is all happened during The Last of Us Part 2.
That was kind of funny. That was
Absolutely
Well,
hilarious.
but
That was 5 weeks of morbidly obese land whales and soy boys crying about boobies. Meanwhile, mind you, during this time with Uzaki-chan coming out, it was the same time a certain movie, a movie that an individual like, say, Josh Duggar would really love.
Oh yeah, the cuties controversy.
Yeah.
bleh,
But mind you,
stop
SJWs
that.
The SJW
Yeah, I
didn't
know,
say jack
disgusting.
shit.
I know.
The
Yeah,
SJW
what-
didn't say anything. The SJW
I
didn't say one word when
well,
that
no,
movie
the
came out.
SJWs were supporting it. It's like this is what I
Well,
mean.
actually,
This is
some
what
weren't.
I mean by they're only against pedophilia because they're trying to attack anime. They're trying to do this double speak now, where they're trying to defend a pedophilic movie that includes real life actors, but yet they're trying to ban anything resembling a certain type of character in anime. It's like, and then they go after
not all of
Zaki-chan,
them.
kind of blowing the. And it's basically they have shown that it's not about protecting kids or anything like that. It's about control. It's because they're trying to find any reason they can to control anime, whether that's by legal means through obscenity laws, or whether it's through other things like corporate, like the PayPal Patreon thing. They've already locked down any way a person stateside could get their work out there if that they don't approve of. Look at Patreon, and of course PayPal never allowed anything like that. So except for Patreon, I think they're buddy there, corruption, but
Yeah.
Well,
indie artists can't find a payment processor.
Okay, Joker, go ahead.
Not all of them. Like someone, even like a toxic. Rachel Wood, like great actor, but can't she be a bit of a toxic feminist from time to time? Yes, but even she was saying, Netflix, get this shit off the goddamn website. Like there was even like several of them that were saying that, hey, it's not all of them. A lot of them were saying what the hell is this shit? Get off their site.
Oh,
and again,
right.
no one knows
they're
exactly
probably
which random Netflix employee at Sundance are like, yeah, this is a great movie. Let's get this. It's like, hell no. Whoever was that should have been fired.
Oh, and by the way,
yeah.
Oh, and by the way, just to go with what Dino says about these feminists being mad about stuff, they're gonna be mad once again because it's coming back.
Patty and Stocking!
Chainsaw.
Oh,
Lollipop Chainsaw's coming back.
yes.
Let's hope they don't tone it down, like to appease the corporos at Steam and other.
Well,
One
what
thing
I'm
I-
reading is that it will receive a full remake. The games will aim to recreate the original, but there's like some things I'm like so if as long as it aims to keep the original and Suda 51 is still involved and along with James Gunn, then okay, that's awesome, that's great. So we'll see how it goes. For now, it's just a confirmation. It's 2023, but we shall see. We shall see.
But one thing I also want to throw out there real quick though about the whole Netflix walking out thing. Notice how these idiots didn't walk out during the cuties controversy, but when Dave Chappelle said a joke, these idiots walked out. And it's kind of go back what Cerner was saying. It's like, these individuals don't give two shits about children. I guarantee you that individual has some questionable stuff on their browser history. I guarantee you. Just like
I mean,
that
this is why I
chat.
question Valkyrie's
Also,
actors who like she was supporting cuties.
Okay, guys, before we go any deeper, Shiny Evolution Cosplay Game Corner says, don't forget SJW's protected predators like Damon Mills, but they went after Vic Mignogna and me, which they want to frame him and me.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Of
There you go.
course
Damian
they do,
Mills.
because they're-
Wait,
Great
isn't Shiny
example.
cosplayer a woman?
No, he's a
No,
dude.
male.
Oh,
He's a dude.
Damian Mills, the voice of
Mistake.
Frieza, was outed as an actual, cheese pizza lover, and there was actual evidence that was supporting this. But yet, Soymation and the so-called fans said nothing about it. But when Vic Mignon was outed for nothing, mind you, everyone wanted him. Not everyone, because there were some voice actors that did stand by him, but the majority of the voice actors and others were like, "No, get this freak out, go die, go kill yourself, yada yada yada." It's like, wait a minute, where's that energy at? Where's that same energy that you had with the whole Vic Mignon situation?
Exactly. I mean, where's
Yeah,
that freaking?
I think the thing is this is what I mean, and what they did to Vic mirrors what they did to gain power in the first place in the universities where they were able to spread this. They literally used, because back in 2011 Obama changed Title IX to basically change sexual assault allegations to be guilty until proven innocent in college. Well, that's how they got the power. They just basically Title IX'd everyone who was sane and got them out. They used Title IX as their primary weapon, and then now look, now that they got their people in there, they're teaching kids and brainwashing them in college, and now they're trying to brainwash K to 12. Well, the parents are going to deal with that hopefully. And it mirrors exactly what they did to Vic and a lot of other people in other fields, where they just basically use false accusations to get people out, whether it be false rape accusations or false sexual harassment allegations, along with expanding the definitions of those words.
And to branching off of that, what it is when their people do it, when their followers, whatever, do it, they're like, shh, it's okay. But when someone else does like, okay, get him off, get him right now, kill him, behead him, throw him in the slammer now.
That's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did to Vic. And now the thing is that I think that these people, it's like, the problem is another thing is that now Funimation and Sony basically have a big monopoly. They have a legitimate, like almost monopoly on anime content. And I think Japan needs to consider non-exclusive licensing, to where they can license to two studios at the exact same time, so that you have two different localizations by two different companies. Of course they would both have to pay the original studio. But yeah. I think non-exclusive licensing should become the norm after so that we actually have some competition within the market.
Yeah, because guess what? We, the fans, are the ones that want this content. Now, like I said before, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree, there's no such thing as a 100% accurate translation of any work, because there's a lot of words in America that don't exist anywhere else, and vice versa. But the job of a translator is to at least be semi-accurate as humanly as possible. Meaning, if they are having a conversation about how, the bad guy did a bad guy thing, so the hero is going to stop them, that's what you're supposed to put out there. What they are doing is not that. What they are doing instead is having, the hero say, "You're a misogynist, and I, the trans Gabian, will stop you." Like, that's not translation. That is inserting your fucking agenda. We see the shit with the Dragon Maid episode.
Jamie Markey.
Yeah, where Luca, mind you, Luca's a spicy ass woman.
Prison School. Don't forget Prison School. Ugh, that kind of
Prison School. Like, oh, are you a misogynist or some bullshit? There's that one.
Then they made a Gamergate
Well,
reference.
actually had whoa, guys. It turns out that Prison School actually had the Gamergate reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was that one. There's that one with the Monster Girl, the interview with the Monster Girl, and it's like, wait, you're not translating. You're not even trying to translate.
Let me do the famous one. Let me do the one that everyone either cringe for. I'm gonna say this. No offense for those who you are this. You transition. That is completely fine or anything. Or you're undecided. Let me say that is okay. Hey, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes.
Oh,
yeah.
And again, mind you.
Time out. No offense to those. If you are non-binary, not non-binary, that's awesome. That's cool. Good for you. Maybe that's fine. But that's not what he said in the Japanese. That's got a lot of people going, really?
Well, that's got a lot of fans complaining, because if you look at that video clip on YouTube, you will see a lot of idiots going, "Oh my God, I feel so seen right now." Ooh. It's like, no. And first and foremost, let's not forget the localization of that one manga where it's a femboy. It's a femboy who is a gay relationship and stuff like that, and this dumbass is going to be like, well, no, they're trans. No, idiot. Femboys and tomboys exist. That's one thing that boils my fucking blood, because I am sick and tired of these motherfuckers who will sit there and say, Staffel, Felix Orgau, Hidori, and so any other goddamn femboy here is unhatched. No. We are not goddamn unhatched eggs, you motherfucker. Do not call me or any other goddamn femboy a fucking unhatched egg, or I'm gonna unhatch your goddamn skull.
I just want to ask this real quick. Why can't Japan just do their own translation, localization stuff
for subtitles? They need to do that but they also need to not believe the problem with that is what the media tells what the U.S. side media tells Japanese people. They use the language barrier because they know that we cannot communicate with the Japanese side, and they take advantage of that 100%. Because they're the ones that know Japanese and can talk with them, but they know that most fans can't, and they take advantage of that.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
guys, before we go any further, I'd like to actually bring up a point Fire King X made. Vic Mignogna and Jamie Markey arguing is like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Both innocent men blamed for no reason.
Yeah, I think hopefully because I heard that Vic's trial is still being held up. What we need to I really hope that the appeals court in that case undoes what that fucking judge, that cucked judge in Texas did. Because if that was the judge basically taking advantage of his discretion.
Oh yeah, freaking Joker! You actually had something to talk about the new Ruby anime that you were watching.
Okay, you want me to change the subject right now? Okay,
yeah. Let's talk. Yeah, because I've been hearing some mixed things about the Ruby anime.
It's very
good and bad.
Lukewarm. Very lukewarm. It's very a lukewarm reception. Where, on one hand, I think I'm not going to blame the Studio Shaft's animators or like any other animators. I think they're doing a good job. It's called the art style. You guys are praising the art style. We can go from CG to 2D from Volume 1 and 2 and 3 respectively for the first 3 episodes at least, or at most. It's like, wow, this looks awesome. Seeing the original character designs now in 2D look awesome. They look incredible now. My main issue is you're missing a lot of the cut content now. I understand, don't retell the entire volume, but that's kind of what I got. I got the trailers red, white, black, yellow, episodes 1 all the way through 12 or 10, I can't remember. but they missed the yellow trailer and completely didn't do the red trailer. The red trailer for the anime just Ruby talking to the grave of her mom, and then here comes Weiss. It's funny. It's funny how I always keep saying this, that just because you have it in 2D and CGI doesn't always mean it's going to be good. It's kind of like you miss a translation, a stylized. The reason why I like the fights in CGI because, well, there was a rhythm, there was timing, there was syncing fights up to the music. In 2D, that one scene that everyone keeps showing, the street fight, yeah, that fight looks even better now. Holy crap! But then I get to later fights, I'm like, what in the world is happening? It's like fight, stop, fight, stop. It's like I'm watching an actual show now, but I'm like, do they not have the time? Do they not have the budget? Are they running out of resources? It's like, what's going on here? I'm like, what's going on? And I'm baffled. They call this Ice Queendom, so I'm like, okay, we're focusing on Ice, but none of the new stuff happens until after the 40-minute mark. So like I'm in an hour and 6 minute runtime because they combine the first 3 episodes, and it takes 40 minutes to get going. I'm like, what in the world? Why are you retelling a lot of stuff? And you're missing a lot of small character interactions that help out a lot that goes forward in season 1. But I'm still like, why are you changing so much? This is a weird decision on the writers, on the staff. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'd rather take the new stuff right now than get a semi retelling of Volume 1 right now. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, and then this kind of made me mad the most. What's up with the sound effects? That made me so mad. I'm like, these are weapons with badass fucking guns, and yet it's like, pew, what? Like the scythe is a freaking sniper rifle, not a rifle. Oh, that made me so mad. I'm like, what is going on here?
But okay, like overall though, is it watchable and enjoyable?
It's watchable for the most part, but you all saw me spamming that I'm just raging. I'm like Plankton going, ugh, what's happening?
Alright. I think I will give it a
maybe
shot.
I'll get better at episode 4, because we only got like 3 episodes, so it was
Yeah,
shown on
also, I just
Expo, so we'll see.
Hold up there, Joker. I got something to say. It turns out that Volume 9 is going to be coming out in 2023 for Ruby.
I know, but I haven't been watching.
I don't really care about Ruby ever. I don't really care about Ruby. I think that when Monty Ohm died, it just went downhill.
I would say Volume 4 was still watchable if it was more of like you kind of split the episodes into like maybe 3 or 4 parts of, or maybe 5 of the characters that were around, instead of going like we go here for 1 episode and then you're slightly in another in the same episode. But after Volume 5, it just went way downhill, like way downhill.
Oh man, you guys gotta check this out. Freaking Barking Exodus badassery equals fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It was just a pain in the butt watching it.
That's why I love Bastards so much.
Yeah, even I said that, that's a good comparison. Like, compare the Bastard new anime adaptation we have right now versus the OVA. Like, I will say I do miss the OVA's art style, because I felt like that was more badassery. The new art style, it still looks pretty good, but just like a slight comparison, I think I prefer more that classic 2D, cell shaded look. That was more awesome.
Yeah, in fact, I still actually have my review of Bastard, and I still plan on actually finishing off the rest of the Netflix Bastard and comparing it between both the original VA and the Netflix version.
Yeah, just to see who did better.
I mean, the thing with Netflix is it seems like they got like a mixture of good and bad. Because like the Bastard, I've heard that it was not censored, which is great. That's what you want to hear. But then you got like other shows that they show and it's absolute garbage. It's like there is a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to Netflix. Mind you, though, it is mostly I really don't like you because, well, it's fucking Netflix.
It just sometimes they're just getting the wrong license, or they think it's going to be good, but then it's like, not so much. Like, Vampire Garden, completely original. I liked the ideas of the first 2 episodes, but it's just way too short. Maybe that's on the writer's fault for writing only like 5 episodes and thinking that we can tell a tight story in 5 episodes. Not exactly. Besides a good art style,
Also,
some very good music, but
also,
it was just cut way too short.
Yeah.
Senna, what you about to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's kind of, I think it's kind of funny, like the thing with Ruby is that I just don't have any interest in it anymore. You know, I would have had interest if they would have I think if Monty Ohm was still around, because he probably would have made it a lot better and probably exerted some kind of control. But nah, Ruby's just not.
I haven't watched Ruby, and it's just I've heard a lot of bad things only because of the whole after Vic Mignon thing happened. It seemed like it was really starting to go downhill. And also, there is this one infamous villain who is considered the most pathetic and lame-ass villain ever.
Yeah, the sparking acts, you are really great at what you do, so basically keep actually doing what you do best.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think the issue with Ruby is that like after volume even like 4 and 5, like even like 3, you can see the quality go up for the art style, but then down in the writing department. And like I will continue to say this: I do not care who you ship. I care about good characters.
Oh yeah.
Like, how many times are you going to tell me that Blake and Yang are gay? But it's like, but then when Ruby and Blake are alone together, it's like you can't hold a conversation because you never talk to each other. You are rarely alone together. So in like volume 8, when you like have this big speech, it's like, okay, just like strangers still, strangers. Why does Blake care for more of Yang than her own sister or even Weiss? Also, why the hell does John have 2 gay sisters? I mean, a gay sister and a gay sister-in-law. Okay, don't care about that. They're not important. They're not that important. Like, they're in for a couple episodes and then they're gone.
See, that's the other issue that I was hearing about, the whole LGBT shit. Mind you, I'm bisexual, but I don't give 2 fucks about LGBT representation in a goddamn story. What I want in a story is good characters, story, and stuff like that. Like, there has to be an actual plot. And the whole Bumblebee thing, I heard about that thanks to Clownfish and a couple of other YouTubers.
Yeah, Eruption Fang said it better.
Yeah, they were like, okay, like Yang, I actually like Yang. Her design looks cool. Her design looks cool and everything, but it's just all I keep hearing about Yang is, oh, she's a lesbian, she's a lesbian, like, I want to know more about Yang outside of who she's fucking tonight.
Well, they ruined that in volume 4 and 5, where it's like where the whole goal of Yang is to find her mother, which I feel like this is great, this is awesome, and how she tells the story to Blake that, yeah, you're kind of remind me of myself when I was younger, where I took my baby sister Ruby to find a mom at this location, but lo and behold, there's a bunch of them, and I'm so tired of about to die. Or my uncle and father showing up, we would have died. She's literally telling Blake, take it slow, you're going to kill yourself. And I feel like that's a great character moment. Why can't I get more stuff like that? No, it's just about, who's Blake gonna Also, they ruined my favorite villain, Adam. Adam was a great, morally somewhat great character. Yeah, he's with the White Fang, he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's kind of like this sort of leadership. He's been there since the beginning. He knows what's wrong and bad, and he just wants someone to tell him that, what are we still doing still correct? Tell me I'm a good person still. That's a great character. And yet, what did the fucking writers do? Hey, girlfriend, like, no, you're not in a relationship with Blake. You are her mentor figure. You are not her boyfriend. You are a mentor figure to Blake, who she looked up to, but then started to question on how things would keep going on. That's why she left. Ugh. Also, he was kind of lame. So you tell me his entire power comes from his sword, and if he loses his goddamn sword, he's useless? Useless.
Man, yeah, see that right there, like that right there should be kind of like the whole the Spider-Man moment with Iron Man was like, oh, I'm nothing. I need my suit. I need the suit, and Iron Man's like, if you need the suit to be the hero, then maybe you don't need the suit. Or something like that. I forgot what the exact words were, but it's an awesome moment where it's like, if you actually are a hero, then you don't need this ability or the suit or whatever. And it's kind of pathetic that, the dude loses his sword and he's absolutely nothing. Like, were you really a interesting character to begin with then?
Exactly, he was an interesting character to begin with, but then it's like he started killing a bunch of innocent people, killing his own clan. I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's an edgelord now. He's way more edgier than the Lelouch.
Oh, hi, Shadow.
What? I just got back. I had to do something.
Oh no, we're talking about edgelord character, and it's like, oh, he's become Shadow.
Yes.
But anywho, like I was saying though, the issue comes when they ruined their own series. Again, Bumblebee or the whole issue with Bumblebee, the shipping stuff, it was nothing but that. Just the shipping. It was just look at the lesbians, behold the lesbians, look how gay they are. And it's like, okay, what else is there to like about this character?
Yeah, I just don't understand why they have to do the whole This is why I don't like the whole representation argument that they make. They're tokens, basically.
Yeah, they are tokens. They're nothing but sad, pathetic, obnoxious tokens that no one really cares about. Except for the Wokies, because the Wokies only care about Ruby because of the representation. Just like I guarantee you, there are people in the Owl House. Hold on. But though, there's people in the Owl House fandom who I guarantee you are only fans because of the LGBT shipping, and not because of the actual show doing whatever. And it's sickening. It really separates the real fans from the, fake ass fans, the ones who aren't really in the fandom to begin with. They just like the idea of gay.
Gay.
And again,
I mean,
what I was about to say was, and again, I am bisexual, and I know I can bring Dee Dee into this, moment here. She's also bisexual, and we both have said time and time again on this channel we cannot stand the wokey ass characters, the gay characters who are just gay because of representation. We like Luz from the Owl House because she is by all means an interesting character. But though what we don't like is the what's her face? Well, not what's it? We don't like the gay, the bisexual Superman or the bisexual Superman son, because that's just token bullshit that no one cares about. No one's going to remember that.
Yeah, no one asked, basically.
Exactly. There you go. No one asked to have.
It's like they say, "Well, I'm gay." It's like, who asked?
Exactly. Because guess what?
Gay? Who asked? No one did.
Exactly.
It's like this. What does you being gay have to do with anything? Just like what does you being straight have to do with anything? What does that do for me? You want me to watch a TV show or play a game or whatever? You need to have some kind of cool thing or awesome thing going on.
Also, Shiny Evolution Cosplayer says, we know Coco left Hololive because of Chinese SJW's been harassing her over what she said about Taiwan. Then 2 years later, she came back as K-Sun and joined V-Shoujo until they found out, and then they went on an outrage.
China. Yeah, that's China. You know, honestly,
You know what we say about
how
China?
Alive should be ashamed for bending down to China.
You know what we say to China? Fuck China. China is asshole.
Exactly. And the funny thing is even some Chinese game companies are starting to leave China for Singapore because China's starting to crack down on games, so they're moving out while they still can. So
Yeah,
they're
'cause
headquartering themselves in Singapore. A lot of companies.
Yeah, 'cause
Even
like-
the company behind the company behind Genshin Impact, I think, is changing their headquarters from China to Singapore.
and that's
They
good.
pretty much are. They can get there because honestly, when you look at Genshin, yeah, it's a gotcha game, but it's admittedly once you get going, and maybe you're playing this with friends, it is fun. Like it's nice to log in.
It's really too bad. It's really too bad. It's a Chinese game, or you know, maybe they'll just maybe they'll one day just make it a Singaporean company altogether and just run everything out of Singapore.
Also, Shiny also adds to compare Chinese SJWs and the
Yeah,
Western
yeah.
SJWs. One side they harass people to get social credits, and the other side they do the same thing for clout, which we know they had in common.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
So basically,
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the
clout.
same thing.
The thing is, clout is from their peers. The problem with social credit is their government. There's a difference there.
Oh yeah, major
Alright.
difference.
That's why I fucking hate the whole social credit bullshit.
Yeah, and the
Huh.
funny thing is they know they can't do that in America, so they're trying to put their own social credit system using corporations.
Yeah, eventually corporation get sick and tired of that shit.
I think, yeah. Again, that just ties right back into BlackRock, and I think that's one of the things I think. If there's anything that a recession, I think what needs to happen is we need activist investors like on the right on our side, like individual investors, to just try to find out what BlackRock and Vanguard are short selling and basically try and when the people who have disposable income who have money that they don't know what to do with, try to weaponize it against Vanguard and BlackRock, trying to basically blast out their short selling positions to where BlackRock and Vanguard go bankrupt, just to attack them because they're too wealthy, they have too much power, and they need to be knocked down a peg. And I think a recession might actually be a good opportunity for that.
Wait, what's this WEP have to do with everything?
Well, because I'm just saying BlackRock and Vanguard, they're the ones that have stakes in all these companies and are basically forcing this ESG nonsense on them, which includes social justice.
True.
That's why they need to be bankrupted.
Yeah, there's this one woke bank that actually just went completely bankrupt after a while for freaking.
I don't think they went bankrupt, but they did lose a lot of money. Halifax, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they're in the UK. The thing is that they actually threaten their own customers to call their cops on their own customers for hate speech. Well, they're in the UK, so because they're in basically what Raging Golden Eagle basically calls Airstrip 1.
Hate speech. The one that people should not take you seriously at all.
Yeah, the problem is that in countries like the UK, well, they basically don't have freedom of speech. They're basically becoming another China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't.
They had, like, the British Board of Film Classification is actually something they've have in common with China for decades or probably even centuries, because of the whole obscenity thing. So basically, and Australia has basically the same thing with their classification system because it's all government mandated and stuff, and they can refuse classification, which means you can't sell it in that country. They basically are like the UK and Australia are basically already China for that purpose. They already have that kind of apparatus. All they need to do is get people in there who will take full advantage, and there you go. You got another communist country on your hands because they don't have the same constitutional protections that we have in the U.S.
This is why a lot of times in the United States, it's very important to have the freedoms we have nowadays.
Yeah, and the thing is remember, the Constitution's only buying us time. So I hope things change quick before they're able to force government censorship on video games. All it would take is for the wrong people to get into the Supreme Court,
Yeah,
and then
that's
they
why.
then they basically can just ignore the First Amendment and reimagine the First Amendment, as they would say.
Yeah, at that point, we saw that happen, and it's
They
been a long time.
already did. There already are. They did try. Well, they did try to reimagine the Second Amendment, but then we got people in there again, sane people in there again, and they're slowly reversing course on where we have been heading. The problem is now we have Biden in there in the White House. So how long is that going to last?
We have Biden in office.
Yeah, now the liberals are talking about wanting to freaking pack the freaking Supreme Court.
They don't have the votes to do that.
Yeah,
I know.
They're gonna have to brainwash some more people in the United States. Let's be honest, they can't do shit.
Yeah,
but,
and the thing is,
let's actually freaking not focus on politics anyway, because.
But this is relating to how they might try to attack our hobbies using government control, because we're talking about China, how China does it. I think they're going to try to move that over here, and we got to make sure that we're up on our toes to keep our hobbies legal.
True.
Keep anime legal, keep comics legal. Anything that so that we don't have to follow strict guidelines like China does.
Hell, even better, we should also try to protect artists as well, because let's be honest.
Yeah, and the thing is this is why the thing is that if they can't do it at the this is the thing is we're kind of stretched thin because we also have to worry about the corporate side with the payment processors like Patreon and all that.
Oh yeah,
MasterCard,
Visa, those bastards.
Yeah, though I think honestly, I think that we might have to repeal the Patriot Act before anything changes, so that we can get competition in that field.
Yeah,
because we need alternatives.
Yeah, we also need to get started on creating freaking Explosion Comics, so that way you get that out there.
Yeah, we also gotta
do it while you can, and make sure. What we need is for your company to get big enough so you can sign an actual contract with these payment processors, so you can actually and get enough power to say you cannot terminate us for content. For anything that's not illegal or anything like that. Because you also have to make sure.
Support the indies like me and Mr. Anime are doing. We're on the indie side of things.
So the problem is that the indie side, they're basically under the radar, so they don't have. But once they get big, the payment processors will start scrutinizing
that's why I always keep saying that when I saw all those fan art for Gem Shock that me and Mr. Anime have backed up, it's like that's how you know you made it as an indie creator. People are willing and have in their spare free time willing to create like your character, the main character that is basically based off the 80s and 90s sexy badass ladies, which I'm all for. I'm like hell fucking yeah, that's how you know you made it.
Though the problem is that okay, there's a market for that stuff.
But the problem is that you know what it's called. Let's support them. You support good content creators that love what they're doing and are willing to get this content out there. Like, yes, it is a huge risk because these are still Kickstarters and Indiegogo's projects, but you know what? You support the good ones, you spread the word about them, and support them like we, Mr. Anime. Hopefully, we should do a review on that comic book, honestly.
Yeah, but the thing is, I bought Raging Golden Eagle's Blade Devil comic.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I worry about in the future is that people like him and others are going to get shunned out by PayPal or MasterCard, and we're going to have basically the financial industry controlling what comics can be made.
Yeah, because they only want that woke garbage, that's
what I'm afraid of. Is that they're basically going to do what they're basically going to regulate things by government. Or not government, but corporate fiat, because they can't do it by government fiat. So they're just going to go to MasterCard and say, "Shut this company down."
And mind you, this is also how
we're having to pick in the Miles Story comic book right now. Holy crap! People are now turning once again against Marvel. Like,
and that's
fuck
good.
you, Marvel writers. Fuck you. That's racist.
Here's a problem that I think with Novel is, and I think pretty much Novel and DC need to face is that I think honestly, as
They
people
don't
get
have the,
good,
the actual artists in control. Like there's a great video out there that talked about. Remember how we used to have all these badass rock star artists, like literally, like from the Marvel and DC side of things. Like they used to make all these great comics, like the X Men, Spider Man, Wolverine. You
Yeah.
got Superman, Batman. But then of course, those guys left and created. Guess what? Image Comics. So they're doing their own thing now because now they got the fame and glory. Like they ran their issues and everything. Like let's go to Image Comics. Let's create our own things now. That's what we need more of. We need more of these rock stars to finally start
Yeah.
showing up and make their own shit now.
Here's the thing: is that if Marvel and DC finally go under, what I see that's a, if Marvel and DC go under, the thing these other they'll know that all these indie creators will be able to soak up the audience. The problem is will the audience be allowed to buy the comics from the people, making the indie comics? This is why I think that the whole middleman thing, and this is why cryptocurrencies were invented, because of the whole banking system controlling what people can buy and sell. And
Yep.
this is why we need to get rid of the financial police state and allow sellers and buyers to we basically what we need is common carrier rules for MasterCard and Visa. Make it so they cannot discriminate, where they don't have any liability, where they're just they just because.
Well, yes, but
I'm
you
sorry to
saw
say,
what
sure,
happened.
it may reduce the ability to clamp down on certain crimes, but it's not worth the freedom we've lost. It's just not worth it.
Well,
I mean, to be fair,
yeah.
I agree with you, and that's why I think this also should be also added upon, like, I mean, places like for Amazon and eBay, because let's be honest, the amount of stuff over the years.
I think a lot of the stuff these corporate, like a lot of the I think a lot of it could be pressure from Visa and MasterCard. Why we see a lot of corporate policies clamping down, especially like
Hell.
Patriot. How do we know that these companies aren't under NDA and can't disclose why they're making these dumb policy changes, and where they can't disclose that it's actually Visa and MasterCard making the decisions? Because that's a problem. Is there's a duopoly. That's a trust, and we need trust busting on Visa and MasterCard.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of think we need trespassing when it comes to more.
Let Bubba talk, okay? Let Bubba talk.
All I was going to say is I agree with you. There's just one problem. Visa and MasterCard, all those laws were put into place to protect all the smaller companies from them, and yet with their resources,
there's a difference. I'm not talking about the laws of consumer protection. That's a whole nother issue. Though, I'm talking about the regulations that are specifically designed for the police state, for the law enforcement type things, that basically those are a lot more onerous, because they basically have to keep all these records, and they have to hire so many people that a new startup can't get into the market because of all the compliance costs from these law enforcement mandates.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I thought you were going the other direction on it. I thought you were saying that
no,
there should be...
what we need is the common carrier rules, so where they can't discriminate, where they can't have these acceptable use policies and stuff.
They would,
because there's not enough entrance into the market, because they're basically a duopoly. I think once you have only two, once you have only less than 5 companies handling this specific market, you should have a common carrier rules. Even if you have to sacrifice some of the law enforcement capabilities of stopping, of proactive measures. This is what it's mostly about, is the proactive measures, but they did is they gave these companies what the proactive measures policies basically made, so these companies could decide, and made them basically the moral arbiters of the internet. Even stuff that is not illegal, some things that are perfectly legal, but it's because it's company policy. Yeah. The problem with these proactive measures basically of over-regulation and making it so that you only have a few companies, it means that they did that because it would be easy to shut down, what is potentially illegal, the whole thing with drug trafficking and stuff. The problem is what you've done is you did not also make it so that these companies had to process all legal transactions. That's what I think, that make it so that anything that is not illegal they can't shut down. That's what I want, is a common carrier rules to where they can only shut down things that are actually illegal.
Pretty much.
I still think they'd find a way to get around it.
Basically the only way they could do that is they could probably try to find obscenity laws as like a little excuse, kind of like Steam does.
Yeah. Oh no, like this bullshit with Steam doing nowadays with the whole censoring. Oh, this character looks like a high school student, or how dare these characters look a bit too young. I'm like, Steam, you have Necapata. You have all these. You have Necapata, you have the Neptune series. You have all these games that have, guess what, characters.
That's because they have big companies backing them. The thing is when you have a big company backing you, it's kind of hard to ban a game, because these big companies have lawyers.
No, exactly, and that's the problem.
They probably signed a contract with Steam. They may have signed a contract that where Steam is not held responsible for anything, and that's something that the normal person cannot sign, because they don't have the power to do that because they don't have the money.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Steam alone. I think a lot of times that a lot of people may say, "Oh, well, we need Epic Games because competition." No, I'm sorry.
That's what we need. What we need is for, if only we had like a bunch of moderate weebs who could create something that would serve as, not only, thing is that you'd have to start it with a store. You would be limited on what you could even if weebs did start a store, though, they'd be kind of limited at first until they could start their own payment processor. That's the problem.
Yeah,
because payment processors don't want to process transactions for adult content.
And that's the problem with that. And that's the issue with, I mean, when it comes to stuff nowadays. It's like, I'm sorry to say this, but you'll let me play Vital video games that's rated M and rated what, adult only? Yet, oh my god, if I play a game that's for like what?
That's why I hope Monster Girl Quest Part 3 comes out soon, so that it can be out there before the payment processors start to clamp down on DL site. That's what I'm worried about.
That's the thing. We saw that. You're right, because we saw that play out with OnlyFans and Twitch both. The big banks all of a sudden when they realized.
What I'm worried about, and here's the thing, is that
wait, guys, hold on a second.
Hold on a second. Kingfire X says Karen Wokies and feminists be like, I hate sexy women.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
And here's the thing is.
Yeah.
The thing with OnlyFans and Pornhub is that they had content that was, most of their content was of real people. So I can get that. I can understand that kind of thing with real people. But will they extend those same strict rules? Like, will they ask for ID verification for fictional characters? Is what I'm worried about. Because like what Steam is doing now.
Steam is actually trying to ask for ID for fictional characters? That's just pure
No, but I'm just saying, well,
go ahead.
No, but it's figurative, basically. But I'm saying, like, they might, what I'm saying is if Visa and MasterCard applied the current rules of their what they do for real life, if they applied them to fictional characters, all hentai would not be processing any transactions for hentai, because if a character doesn't exist, they don't have a birth certificate. They don't have an ID. This is what I'm worried about. Like, Steam isn't going that far, of course. Steam is basically using appearance.
But the artist passed away.
And see, that's the problem, though. It's the appearance. Because, like, for example, right now, my current OC, Lou, the irony is that, yeah, she may look younger, but the irony is, yeah, she may look younger, but she's actually an adult, which is pretty funny. Which is, I'm like, laughing my ass off. When, like...
Yeah, anytime, dude. Besides, anyway, like I was trying to say, basically, we actually just need to come up with ideas to actually, counteract all this, like, conundrumical bullshit that's coming out of, like, what's being made these days, because, it's kind of freaking ridiculous how freaking life is.
And here's the thing is, I think that if any of the weebs want to make like an adult comic company that basically uses the standards, that does not have, like, where basically where anything can go on in fiction, they're going to need multiple payment processors. They're going to need to take cryptocurrency because that might be the only way they're going to be able to do things after a while. But they're just going to have backups upon backups upon backups, so that the woke ESG the things where they can base the. And another problem is MasterCard's match list, which is that's one of the problems with the match list is how they were able to shut down New Project 2, which I don't think was anything to, it wasn't really that good of a thing. But here's the thing. What I'm afraid of is that PayPal, MasterCard, and is going to put the squeeze on. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
Yeah, so talk about the manga. Talk about the manga you guys are creating.
Yeah, by the way, shouldn't we be wrapping it up by now?
Talk about the manga you guys are creating.
I'm just.
But that's the thing.
I'm just very concerned.
Every time you get an established industry, the ones who become the titans in that industry make for damn sure that nobody else can break into that industry and get
exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's
It's even more scary.
It's leaving Hollywood or leaving.
Yeah, it's even
starting
more
up their own companies to honestly do the stuff that they want to do the stuff that they love.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we have Comics Gig right now. Comic Gig started because Marvel Comics allowed these left-wing activists to come in. They said, "Nice hobby you have here. Looks a little bit sexist, doesn't it? Why don't you let us fix it?" Fix it. Like, comics were doing fine for a long time. Go back to the Golden Age. That was the Golden Age of comics. Silver Age, you can say things got out of hand, but that was, of course, their own self.
We've had two eras since the Golden Age where comics even did better.
Even did better. Like, even back in the day. That's why we keep saying that. I'm going to say this for the video game side thing. Even though I do love how technology has evolved for video games, that we can get these amazing photorealistic graphics where I'm about to say, what is real, what is fiction now? But, there is something about playing Doom back on the build engine where you're like, oh, yeah, that's the classic, the Quake engine, like the old engine. Stuff like that is going to age much more better than even some of these more photorealistic games. Like, yeah, a photorealistic game is going to look great, but
and photorealism. Also,
so many different stuff you missed back in the day.
You think that the photorealistic games, you think that the climate crowd would yell about that, since that requires so much processing power that graphics cards are like taking like 500. Some of them new ones are going to take like 300, 400, 500, 600 watts.
They haven't caught on yet. They haven't caught on that the video games they love so much are fucking up the environment in all the ways that they.
Oh, no. Yeah. And then on top of that, the less gameplay, and then on top of just, hey guys, you want a new game? We'll make that game different. Shiny graphics, just boring gameplay and nothing else.
And also, I think
the anime style. So the thing is I like for example, the Neptunia, like for example, like the games like the Neptunia series and all those anime models don't require nearly as many much processing power, since you're not trying to mimic the real world.
Exactly. Oh, I agree.
No, exactly. There's a reason why
we'd be wrapping it up soon, there, Mr. A.
Yeah.
Let's call it good here. So,
yeah, let me go first. Nothing much for me. Just be excellent to each other and party the fuck on, dudes. And I've got nothing.
Sorry if I'm annoying.
Yeah, no,
you're not annoying.
Good.
You're fine.
You're good. I share the same.
How many rants have I gone on, man? Y'all still love me, so yeah.
I mean, love is kind of a strong word.
All right, guys. I'm here on the verge of an emotional existential crisis, and I need my friends for support. I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Low.
Anyway.
He's watching.
No, man, we actually did real good, man. We had our fireworks and shit yesterday. I drank rum while I was lighting shit up. I'm telling you, my uncle is in his mid 60s, and this dude who's had both his arms, both his legs, and his back broken at different times in his life. We lit off one of his homemade fireworks because he's been making them for the last few years, and I go up there, I like that, and I back up because his stuff has a tendency to, go a little haywire. And he's got this motherfucker where it spins like a carousel because he's installed like the little rocket things on either side. He's trying to get it to lift off. It, in fact, lifted off this year. This is the highest it's ever gotten, a whole 3 feet from where we lit it. But the damn thing blew off in 8 different directions with us on the ground. Now, I haven't moved that fast in a long time. But him, like me,
you're gonna need a longer fuse.
Yeah, no, I did. Oh, dude, the fuse was. That's not the point. The point is that we were still too damn close. The problem is that whereas I had that nice Jedi burst of speed when they used the Force to do that zip. I just saw my old uncle do that Master Roshi speed. You know what I'm talking about when he gets. That was fucking kick-ass, man.
Hold on. Did he have something tied to his back? Was he wearing heavyweight clothing? Was he wearing heavyweight clothing? He's like, Bubba, let me show you how it's done. Takes off the clothing.
Yeah. Dude, that was great. Yeah.
Let's not just
Well, I will say this though. As for the artists with this, don't let the wokies, manipulate you and take advantage of you. If you like something, fucking create it. Don't let no one stop you. You have the final say.
Joker?
Why would it die with it?
Not much for me, but support the indie comics or support the indie creators. If you do like something, support them, spread the word, and if you do want to create your own project, I say go for it, but find people that can help you out. Like even stuff that I'm working on right now, which I can't quite talk about. Like even the main creator says, like, I'd rather have someone who will be my damn editor than just to be a yes man, which is okay. Like you're gonna argue a lot of the times, but it's best also to find a good common ground, like a middle ground that you guys can agree upon. So good luck out there to all the new creators that we're going to be getting soon.
All right, sir, now.
Yeah. Support indie creators and support all non-woke, creators. And support if a platform does. If we have non-woke, if we ever have non-woke platforms, support them. Support any non-woke creators, platforms, and let's hope to God that they can get big enough to process their own payments before Patreon or before Stripe, PayPal, and MasterCard cut them off.
All right. Yep.
Alright, heathens. Well, it was fantastic. It was great. Like everyone said, support the indie creators, support any and every single unwoke individual, because the wokies are going to ruin everything. And so the voices of the fans are the ones that actually matter. So by all means, support them, and make sure you know that money talks. Money is going to talk louder than just pointing a finger and saying this sucks. If you support Raging Golden Eagle, support him 100%. Make sure that it is known that this is what we want. This is what the fans care for. Not this damn diversity bullshit that's nothing but absolute garbage. And with that being said, please remember to let your desires burn brightly.
Alright, Shadow?
Stick with the shadow, because at the end of the day, the darkness is always with you. And yep, that's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, we'll tell you how my convention goes. It's at the end of this month, so I'll tell you how that goes. So, whew.
Right. We'll see anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on board to deal with my craziness. And as always, guys, just remember these 4 things: respect the waifus and fan service, enjoy your fandoms, embrace your degeneracy. Enemy is freedom. And until the next time we meet again, guys, this is Mr. Enemy 343 saying, God, anime, make it big titty waifu, fucking speed.
Don't forget to light it up.